Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Date Cop, aka the Army RN, and we're back with another video. I know it's been a while since we dropped the video, but that's okay. I got a lot of stuff in store for you guys, okay? So you're gonna want to stay tuned to the very end, okay? If you're new here, my name is Deja, and on this channel we dive deep into everything military and nursing related. So whether you're interested in the military or civilian nursing, we got you covered, okay? You're going over 3 of the routes in which you can become a nurse officer. One way is ROTC. Another way is AECP. And then the third way I'll be going over is direct commissioning. And then in the end, I'll share with you my personal journey and the route that I took to become a nurse officer. There is no right or wrong route. It really depends on you and where you are in your life to determine what works better for you. But there's more than one way to get it done. Okay guys, I do have a disclaimer. By no means am I a recruiter. The information that I will be sharing throughout this video is based on my own research and my experience. So with that being said, the information that I'm giving you is the information that I have to the best of my knowledge. Okay guys, route number 1 is ROTC. ROTC stands for Reserve Officer Training Corps. And pretty much what ROTC does, it allows college students to get their college education. Pretty much tuition and fees are covered, and you get money for books and other expenses. This is a really great route if you need your college paid for 100%. But you do need to understand that ROTC is a scholarship. So that means you have to apply and pretty much qualify. They don't give ROTC scholarships out to everyone. So academically, you need to be strong. And then physically, you need to be in shape so you can pass your PT test and maintain your height and weight. So how ROTC looks, you can either do a 2-year, 3-year, 4-year contract. It depends on where you are currently and your degree. So that determines how much time you do in ROTC depending on your degree plan. And then you also need to realize that you're pretty much doing dual work. So you're taking college classes full time, and then you're also doing military training at the same time. So while you're taking your regular college classes for your degree, you may have military classes as well and military training. So I'm not going to lie to you, this is not an easy route. It's a very rewarding route. So you have to be prepared to do double the work, military and college at the same time, pretty much. So here are just a few requirements for ROTC. Now, every college has a different ROTC program, but these are like the basic requirements. 1, you must be a U.S. citizen. You must be at least 17 or 31 years old. You must have a high school degree. Your GPA has to be at least a 2.5. You must have either taken the ACT or SAT. And then you will need to take and pass your ACFT, which is our Army fitness test. You must meet physical weight and height requirements, which basically means for your height, you have to maintain a certain weight. And then because you accept the scholarship for ROTC with them paying for your books, tuition, fees, and expenses, you have to agree to, in return, give the military X amount of time back. So that can vary depending on the contract in which you sign when you receive your scholarship. But you can either go Army, active duty, reserve, or National Guard. You do have those options. And I will also suggest that depending on what you want to do really good academically and on the military physical fitness side. Because like I said, it is competitive, and the people with the best grades and the best PT scores usually get to pick first what they want. Now, there are nursing scholarships within the ROTC program, and pretty much what that means is you'll be a full-time nursing student while you're still doing the military requirements for ROTC. So that means if you got to do the training outside in the field, the early morning PT, you still have to maintain both. So for me personally, I tried to do ROTC in college while trying to obtain my nursing degree. But for me personally, it was just too much because I was at a university where our ROTC program was a satellite for another school. So that means a lot of the time for the trainings and stuff, we had to go to another school that was 30-40 minutes away from our college. And for me personally, that took away too much time for my academics. And I was already in the National Guard getting my tuition paid for. I attempted to do ROTC because ROTC covered way more. They covered fees, books, and even allowed some room and board expenses. But if you want to do ROTC and nursing, I'm not going to lie to you, it is challenging, but you can do it. You can do it, but you have to be determined, motivated, and have time management skills. This is not for the weak, I promise you, but it is very rewarding. So depending on where you are in your life and your career, this may very well be the best option. But for me personally, I just had to take a step back because it was just too much for me. So the second route that you can take to becoming a nurse officer in the military, this route is called AECP, AMEDD Enlisted Commissioning Program. Now this program is for our soldiers who are already in the Army. So if you're active duty, National Guard, or reserve, this is the program for you. So essentially what happens is you apply for the program, and once accepted, you get to attend nursing school full-time with fees paid for, and then after the completion of nursing school, you automatically direct commission as a nurse officer and begin your military training. So this route is a little bit different than ROTC because with ROTC, you're doing college and military training at the same time. With AECP, it's only for current soldiers in the military, and you have the opportunity to just do nursing school and then commission as a nurse officer upon completion. I didn't know about this route prior to me crossing over to a nurse officer and getting in nursing school. Had I would have known about this route, I would have definitely looked into it. But I'll just go over some of the requirements, and I'll leave a link below so you can see where I'm getting the information from and go over it yourself. You must have completed BLC, which is Basic Leaders Course, and this course is for enlisted soldiers who are usually going from specialist to sergeant. You must be no older than 31 and a half at the time you enrolled in the nursing program. Depending on the situation, it can be waived. You must have a 3.0 GPA. You also must have a GT score of 110. You must pass a commission physical. Also need a condition of release from your leadership, so you would want to speak with your career management counselor to help you get that started. So with the AECP program, you have to do a lot of the footwork to get in this program. There's a lot of requirements that you have to meet, and then secondly, you have to find the nursing school and it has to meet all of the military requirements for this program, which can be challenging, but do not give up. You can get it done. And I will also link below a Facebook group that helps specifically with this program. They give recommendations on different colleges that have already been approved for this program. The third route that we will be going over is direct commissioning. And this is the route that I took to become a nurse officer. And essentially with the direct commissioning course, you must already be a BSN nurse. So you have to have already attained your bachelor's degree, taken and passed your NCLEX. You need to have had at least 6 months to a year experience practicing as a civilian nurse. So if you already have those requirements, whether you're a civilian or already in the military, you can apply to direct commission. So let's first say, example, you're in the reserve or National Guard. You went to basic training, AIT, came back, used your tuition assistance or tuition exemption, and went to nursing school and got your degree. Now you want to be a nurse officer. You don't know how to do it. This is the route to go because you're already a nurse. And essentially, this is the fastest way to get it done because you already have the degree. But that does include you already paying for your degree some other type of way. I still had my tuition benefits from being in the National Guard. So for nursing school, my tuition was covered that way. You already completed your nursing program, a bachelor degree, not an associate program. It has to be a bachelor's degree because all of the officers in the military have a bachelor's degree. So if you have your bachelor's degree, taking and pass your NCLEX, and have about 6 months to a year experience as a registered nurse, you can direct commission. So if you already have that, the next step for you is to speak with an AMEDD recruiter. And that is specifically a medical recruiter. And from there, you will work with that recruiter and complete a packet. And this packet can be very intense. It includes background checks, letters of recommendation, a statement of your goals. Let me see what else. I can't think about it all, but it was a lot that I had to do. And once you complete that packet, you get it submitted, and if you're accepted, you do have to go through an interview process to see if you are a good fit for the program. And then after that, you essentially commission right on into the military as either a second lieutenant or a first lieutenant, depending on how much experience you have in the civilian world as a nurse. For me, I only had about a year experience as a registered nurse before I commissioned, so I started off as a second lieutenant. I'm a first lieutenant now. And then you do have to complete some military training, DCC, direct commissioning course, BOLIC, basic officer leaders course. And essentially these courses help prepare you to transition from a civilian to a soldier. And then basic officer leader course helps you learn about the medical side of the military. They're not teaching you how to be a nurse because you already went to nursing school and obtained your degree. You're learning the standards and procedures of the military medical operation, if that makes sense. I actually just came back from BOLIC May of last year. So if anyone's going to BOLIC, been to BOLIC, and want my experience or tips, leave a comment down below and I'll share that information. I'll be sharing my personal story as to how I became a nurse officer in the military. First, I want to start by saying the military was never a plan for me. Like, I never grew up was like, I want to be a soldier, I want to be in the army. No, that was never it. So what happened was my two older brothers enlisted in the military while I was a senior in college. And my brothers were telling me how they would pay for college if I go to drill 1 week in a month and do 2 weeks of training in the summer. And I was like, that's all I have to do and they'll pay for me to go to college? I'm like, okay, too easy. Now, I came from a single parent household. I got 4 siblings, and I was the second to youngest. So I already knew that I was going to need support to get me through college. And I never been the type of person to just depend on someone else. Like, growing up, 4 siblings, if I wanted something, I had to get it done myself. Let's just be honest. Then my mother was a single parent. She did the best she could, but I knew where I wanted to go. So when I was presented with that opportunity, I was like, I'm gonna do it. So I actually enlisted the summer after my high school graduation. So in high school, I did have a couple of scholarships that was going to cover me for my first semester. So when I spoke with the recruiter, what I did was I had my basic training start date my spring semester college. So I actually sat out a semester college so I can go to basic training and AIT. And I did it that way because I wanted to get it done. So my basic training and AIT was back to back. Basically picked a MOS that had a short AIT because I'm trying to get in and out. So I picked 74 Delta Seaburn Soldier, and guys, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I hated it. But I didn't really know what it was at the time. My recruiter was like, but you'll get chemical credit, like chemistry credit. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, chemical soldier, chemistry credit. Guess what? I never got it. But that's okay. That's neither here nor there. But the point was, I wanted basic training and AIT done within that spring semester. So I think I left for basic training like the end of December. I think it was after Christmas, before New Year's. And then I came back home sometime about the end of May. So I was back home for the summer. So basic training, AIT done. Completed that. Now I was able to use my tuition benefits to go back to school. So with that being said, I got back in school that following fall, applied for my nursing program at my college, and got in. So by that next spring, I was in nursing school. And with being in nursing school and being in the Army National Guard, I had to go to drill 1 week in a month and then do my military training in the summer. And I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of challenging because some of those weekends I would go to drill and have a test Monday morning. So that didn't leave me a lot of room to study. So where some of my classmates would cram and study the weekend before a test, I didn't have that option because I'm at drill. So I could study a little bit, but I can't just be in my books for 12 hours a day. So because of that, I learned time management skills. And that was the only way I was able to really get through nursing school and a National Guard at the same time. So I literally had to come up with a study plan. I'll study a little bit here, do a few questions a day here. So that's how that went as far as like nursing school and National Guard at the same time. And then I got my degree. I graduated December 2019. I'm still a Seaburn soldier. I had actually got promoted to E5 sergeant. And I really wanted to get out of the military because I was progressing in rank, but I wasn't enjoying what I was doing in the military. And we were getting a lot of new soldiers, and I just was like, oh, like, I just wasn't feeling it anymore. And for me personally, it's like, I don't want to give that energy off to our new soldiers. So I was going to get out. But this is the reason why I'm still in. This is how God works. I was at an event and I saw one of my old commanders, and he was like, Cobb, how's nursing school? And I'm like, sir, I graduated nursing school a year ago. And he was like, well, why don't you direct commission? And I'm like, sir, people have been talking to me about this thing called direct commissioning. I don't know what it is. Like, what is it? Like, I don't know about it. Like, it sounds cool, it sounds great, but what is it? And so he was like, you know what, Cobb? When I was deployed, I met a soldier who just direct commissioned. Let me give you her number. And so, boom, he gave me her number. I talked to her. She gave me her recruiter, called her recruiter. He was deployed. And so he gave me the number of the current recruiter, called him, and I started my paperwork. Immediately got on it. finished my paperwork, did my interviews, and I actually commissioned 2 months before I was going to get out of the military. So that was a sign for me that I was right where I was supposed to be. If you guys like this video, you enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe. Drop in the comment sections what you want to see next, what videos you want to see, any questions you have, drop them down, okay?